All right.
Well,
Hello.
hello everyone. We're here a little bit differently.
We're here at Green Planet Yarn in front of the Malabrigo Rasta.
All the fabulous yarn. And it's around our necks.
Yes, we are wearing Rasta Cowls.
That's right. We had a little contest
We did.
last night.
To see,
And go ahead.
To see if well, not exactly, but you know how much faster crochet is than knitting.
Yes. And it is.
Yeah. So we made these cows last night and we filmed it to kick off our whip challenge.
Right. So we're having a whip challenge on our Ravelry group, and there will be notes and everything there for you to see how you get points
for
if you
working down your
finish
whips.
something, if you weave in ends, if you post photos on Ravelry, all that stuff. So we'll have all that on our group. So please join in. We're going to have prizes.
Yep.
Deadline is
I don't know, the
Thanksgiving, I think.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
I thought it was Thanksgiving.
Well, no one's going to get Christmas presents done by Thanksgiving.
Oh.
It's not gonna happen.
We'll figure it out. But right now we're kind of, I think we said Thanksgiving before, so we'll
did
figure
we?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna put that up, and then anything else to say before they watch us?
Yeah, so this
Yarn
is
along?
we're gonna watch us yarn along, but yeah, we're working on. We did put an episode
Yes.
in the can.
A full episode. We're still editing, and
Right.
so you'll be able to enjoy us now
and later.
and later.
Yay! And so you are,
I'm Kim, also
I'm-
known as Ginger.
and I'm Jocelyn, also known as Pepper. The episode of us making our cowls
Yep.
is coming right up.
So place your bets. Who's gonna win?
And thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Okay, so I'm doing magic loop. So I've split my stitches on half the, I don't know, cable.
Half on each side?
Yeah, I've got a 40-inch cable here. So, then I can pull this guy out and start here. Oops, not that one. And what's going on with you?
So I am crocheting into the back bump of the chain, and it was it's part of the pattern. So when you do that, you get a nice row of V's on your starting chain, so it matches your ending row. So it's kind of a little bit fiddly going in that back bump. It's not as quick, but it is a really nice finishing feature that she's got here in that pattern.
And I've got a little knit to P2 rib going to start.
Okey-doke.
So that's it. I don't know. These needles are so big.
I know, I'm having a really hard time.
Got a hook?
Because usually I push off with my thumb and do all these things to make it go faster, and I can't rotate the hook because it's so big, so I'm having to do different things with my fingers. It's kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Funny.
Like I have to let go of my work and wrap it around because it's so big.
Oh, you mean like when you're knitting and doing
throwing
English?
or something,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to adjust.
Well, the cast-on's always the hardest to work on. That first row.
Right.
Right? Because your stitches are not as flexible.
Well, and for knitting, cast the first row, it's because the stitches are also tied up against the needles, right? It makes it harder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always, I don't think it's fair that the hardest part is at the very, very, very beginning, especially if you're learning and people are like, oh, I can't do this. You're like, trust me, it'll get better. It's just so hard in the beginning.
Right, and then you don't even get a whole lot of time to practice the cast on, right? Because it's only at the beginning. So, your second project, you're like, oh, I forgot how to cast on.
Right. Sometimes in class, I'll be teaching people and they'll have done all these chains, like a chain like miles long. And then we're working on single crochets and we go to turn and I say, okay, now chain one and turn. And they're like, what? Like, 'cause they're just so overwhelmed because there's so much information and you're just trying to learn that thing and you can't remember the step you did just before.
Chain.
You know how to do it, it's okay.
You just did it.
Alrighty, getting there. Oh my goodness, this hook is enormous.
Well, these needles aren't.
I wonder what this was for. I found it like at a garage sale or something, so I'm just curious, like, why would you have, maybe for t-shirt yarn?
Oh yeah, yeah. For
Or,
cutting
like-
strips and stuff.
Right, or doing, like, to make a fabric rug?
Right.
Maybe that's what that
Maybe
was
that's
for.
for. I wonder.
Ooh,
And there's
fabric
no,
rug.
there's no.
No,
No
signs.
size,
Nope,
nothing.
nothing. There's no letters, there's nothing on it. It's just a big, giant green plastic hook.
And of course, you just had to have it.
I did. I couldn't just leave it sitting there.
Well, that's.
I think it was
what-
like $1.
I have
had to buy
one of
it.
these. I shouldn't stop knitting, but I
Yeah.
have one of these because it's pink,
Oh,
right?
yes,
so
of course.
I had to kind of have that. And I'm like, ooh, what do you need that for?
I don't even know why I have those must have, I don't recall buying those at all, so I'm not really sure where they came from. Okay. What's going on here? Something strange. Okay, I don't like that join. So this yarn is so big, I have a weird jog here where I slip stitched in to start my round, so I think I'm going to kind of adjust that
Well, I'm kind
before
of.
I get into my next. There we go. Okay.
For a minute there, I thought I had a. When you join in the round, you got to be careful not to twist. And for a second there, I thought I twisted it.
I know, me too. I totally
Oh,
did.
crap. Did I twist it? How could I have twisted it?
Row 2.
It's an easy thing to do. Very easy thing to do.
Okay. So I'm single crocheting back loop only, which is a favorite because it gives you an added little ridge, horizontal ridge of yarn across your entire work. So this will go around the cowl this way, and that'll be a nice detail to do just the
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a...
in the back
okay.
loop only.
Oh, okay.
So see, it's giving a nice.
Oh, that's
Okay, I
nice.
think I really am getting 4 stitches per inch here. This is insane. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting 5 stitches in 4 inches.
So what's a P hook anyways?
It's-
For knitting.
11.5 millimeter.
11.
So a P hook is equivalent to.
So we're probably using about the same size. Right? Yours is slightly bigger than
Mine's
mine.
bigger than yours.
But this is definitely bigger than a P. Right?
Yeah,
Where's the
mine's
P on
a
that
P
one?
as an 11.5,
And this
yours
is a
is
12. All right, so it's PQ.
I don't even know.
Oh, that's good.
I forgot it was a race. Now I got to speed up.
Ah!
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
Because you're gonna win. Because you're crocheting.
I know.
Here we go. It's getting there. So I guess we can talk a little bit more about the whip challenge.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get like points for certain things, like if it's lace,
Right.
If it's a lace project, you get more points for finishing a lace project. If it's a gift, and this is basically, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of things on the needles right now, and I
Right.
really need to tame that down. But also, it's coming up on the gift giving season, so there's all that to do as well. So gifts do count, and you don't get negative points for starting something, and you do get extra points for
For finishing a gift.
finishing a gift.
Right. So, and for example, if you're in the middle of a hat and you finish your hat and you weave in your ends and you block your hat and you take a picture of it and post it to Ravelry, there's points for all of those steps. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I have a sweater in the corner that I haven't woven the ends in and it's been there for a year and a half.
Yeah, that works.
So
yes.
then you get points for weaving in ends. So we'll post everything on the group. Like I said, I don't have them all memorized, but and then everybody just makes one post and you keep you just keep editing your single post.
And we have a bonus consolation prize too. So, you know, the person who gets the most points obviously is
Gonna win a prize.
But the person who has the least points, I mean, this isn't something you should shoot for, but you know, you've posted and you posted a starting, I don't know, you started something maybe, or I don't know, you have to post something because we won't know. Like you're going to start, you have your list of whips or something, and then you got nothing done. We have a consolation.
It's a booby prize.
Booby prize, yeah. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. And we did draw a winner for our lace knit crochet along, which we will announce on the next full episode.
Right.
This is just our little interlude.
Yeah.
Our little who's faster? Me.
No,
Only because I'm crocheting. If we were both knitting, she'd blow me out of the water.
really?
Yeah.
Am I a faster knitter than you are?
You are a faster knitter than I am.
Well, you're definitely a faster crocheter than I am. I'm slower at crochet. But I think, am I faster at crochet than I am at knitting? Maybe not. I think because I still have to like focus on it.
Yeah.
It's not like second nature for me.
Yeah.
Although someone came in the shop today and asked, what's a HDC? And I had to think for just a second. Oh, half double crochet.
Well, if that was the first question out of the blue, like, not I've been crocheting this blanket, I would have like had to pause too and been all, HDC. I don't know. Sometimes the little connections aren't firing in the old brain.
Yeah, and I'm normally faster if I'm just on a 16-inch circular.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but I didn't want to, I mean, you know, this is not I had to get this needle because today, I had to buy this needle today because I don't normally knit this gauge, and the only 17 I had was a 32, and I couldn't, I think there's not enough cable on a 32 to do magic loop, I don't think. So, and I didn't want to trip myself up.
Right.
So, I went and bought this, but I didn't check the instructions because I should have bought a smaller needle.
Well, I'm glad I brought my whole box because I wouldn't have, if I had to use the P, it wouldn't have.
But this is turning out okay.
Oh, that's really pretty.
It's nice. So
I like that a lot. And we keep talking about who's faster doing what and using what, but remember, it's not a race for real. We're just having a little friendly rivalry.
a little friendly competition.
That's right. Even though we're not competitive.
No, not at all.
At all.
Ooh, that's an evil
kind of feel like I have no control over my hands.
God, this yarn is big, but it's soft.
Oh, so soft.
Yeah.
And I love all the colors in my skein. I've got, let's see, I have a little orange even, so it's mostly like a bluish purple violet, like
What's
a
it called?
dark. It's called Soriano. Oh my gosh. My cowl pattern is, that's so weird. My cowl pattern is Saranya, and my yarn is Soriano. So as not to get confused.
I wonder if they mean the same thing, maybe similar.
In different languages.
I don't know. Mine's called Porino. Porino. I don't know what it means. It means pink something.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some black in here, there's some rust, there's mostly like purples, navy, beautiful colors. Oh, I was helping one of our customers with the Malabrigo. She's doing a 3-color shawl. And today, and so we just kept picking out combinations and combinations and combinations. We're like, woo, lay them out on the table.
I know.
It was so fun.
She just had this pile of yarn in front of her.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure she was going to buy it all, but she did buy a good bunch of it, didn't she?
I'm not sure. Did you ring her up?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that one of them was for the Bradway
shawl.
It's a worsted weight knit shawl in 3 colors, and so we had like 6 different combinations of the Malabrigos. It was really fun.
Yeah, I like the colors she picked. They were really pretty.
Yeah.
So, kind of tempted. I'm always tempted by the things that people are working on.
Totally.
And everyone's always working on something else. So then that's what gets me in trouble, and that's why we really need this whip challenge, because that and all the knit-alongs that we lead, you know, I just fall behind, and then I've got this new job, and so I don't have daytime knitting time.
Yeah. And I just get like, ooh, I want to start that. Ooh, I want to start that. Ooh, I want to start this. And then I have a billion things going. And sometimes I get distracted by a new project, and then I leave something for so long that I'm all, ugh, do I really want to go back to that? I don't know. And I lose interest. And so then it's just usually about, I would say 3, maybe 4 times a year, I'm like, I am going to finish everything. And I just go through and just like clean up all my project bags and just try to finish a whole bunch of stuff so I can then start a whole bunch of stuff. Usually I don't mind having a lot of different projects going, but like I said, like maybe 3 times a year I'm like, oh no, I got to get it all organized and figure out what I'm doing, because then I start feeling kind of out of control.
It does get out of control. There is a solution to that.
What's that?
You only work on one thing at a time. There are people who do that.
I know.
And they finish lots of things.
They
do. It's great.
But then what if I'm working on something like this, and then I go, oh, but I want to have something easy to work on when I'm, at watching TV with the kids and I need a sock, or I don't know. Sometimes I just want to play with different colors of yarn throughout the day.
Yeah, I get a little bored.
Yeah.
So, but at this point I'm a little overwhelmed. Just a little bit. Alright, so far
Pretty good.
I know, that's where I am. I'm supposed to do 14 rows of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
What?
When you count your rows, you just counted your V's coming up from the cast on. The ones on the loop on your hook, on your needle,
that's
do you
going to
count
be
that?
the 6th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm starting on 6.
Oh, you're starting on 6.
Yeah.
So the loops that are on your needle do not count as a row completed.
That's the row, yeah. They're the next row.
Okay.
So.
I never know. When I try to count up like that, then I always...
That's a good question.
Yeah. I'm still not the best at counting my rows of knitting. Usually I lay something next to each other to see if it's the same length instead of trying to count. Like if I have 2 sleeves or 2 socks, or I'm trying to get the stripes the same width.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. It feels short.
Well, I'm trying to sit up straight.
Oh, okay. And then we don't have our magic chairs.
We don't have our magic chairs because usually we have the adjustable office chairs, and I sit down here the same height.
and I boost mine up a little bit so that we're like even. I don't hurt my neck looking at you.
I could say the same.
That's true.
Let's see, row 5.
Row 5?
No, I'm on row 6.
Row 6?
What? I know, I need a pen. Okay. Repeat row 5. 6, 7, 8. 3 more times. Alright, so here's another thing I do when I'm working. So if for double crochet row, it always says chain 3 and go. My stitches are short, I guess. Like, if I have to do a row gauge, my stitches are always really short. So whenever I do a double crochet row, if I were to chain 3, I would have a big, huge chain hanging out. Sometimes you have a little loop at the beginning of your row, but mine always looks terrible. So I always chain 2 at the beginning of my double crochet rows.
When you're going back and forth.
If I'm going in the round, if I'm going back and forth, anything.
when you go up.
At the beginning
that's right,
of a
you have
round.
to go up around.
Right.
Okay.
And that, especially like in a hat or something, when you're going around and round, if you find that you really see where your join is and you have a gap, try just to chain 2 instead of chaining 3. There's also a thing that you do a chainless double crochet, which is, I think it's called chainless double crochet. There's a YouTube video for it, and that's pretty cool too.
So you're spiraling maybe?
Kinda. No, you're not spiraling. You pull the yarn up. So say I'm ready to go. If I were to turn, you pull your loop up like this, taller, and then you do like a wrap, and you come around and do some looping and bring it through to make like a pseudo double crochet
that kind of brings you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a really good YouTube video about it, and
do you like it?
I do. I think it's fine. Usually if I'm just doing the chain 2, it seems to be fine for me on most of my stuff. Every now and then I'll use it for something. So when you were joining in the round back there, you don't have to you just come around and start knitting. You don't have to because sometimes I've heard people say make an extra cast on and then knit 2 together when you start.
I don't do anything.
Do you just go?
I just go for it.
Okay.
You get this little issue right here. I just kind of fix it with my tail.
Oh, okay.
So, and then with this yarn, because it's so bulky, it really doesn't.
So there might be a little bit of a separation or something, you're saying?
Yeah, so see,
and
here's the beginning of my cast on, and then, right, so I would fix it.
Oh, like right there.
Yeah.
So you just bring that around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that if you're doing the chainless foundation, the foundation chain, like for foundation single crochet or something for starting, I get a weird jog at the bottom that I use the tail then to
fix.
Like weave around and make it look like it's even.
And then, I'd like to know what other people's methods of knitting in the round are. When I'm doing socks, I'll mix it up. Sometimes I use double points. Sometimes I'll use the bent needles. Sometimes I'll use 2 circs. That's like one of my favorite ways to do it. I don't like doing magic loops for socks.
Really?
For some reason. No, I tried it. Well, I tried 2 mitts instead of 2 socks. 2 socks 2 mitts at the same time magic loop.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain way you have to put the stitches on the needles.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to know what that was like. And then, it's nice that you can finish everything all at once. But
Well, you can do magic loop with just one sock, right?
Yeah, but
you don't like that either.
It's too fiddly for me to have to pull that wire for those stitches all the time, pulling the cord. Like right now, it's not so bad because this is just a cowl. But I guess, it's 48 stitches, which is, about what a small sock would be, right? But I mean, this is big. Right? So 48, maybe it's just too small, and I'm always pulling that cord, and I don't know, it's weird. Don't stop.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm listening. I'm attentively listening to what you're saying.
I don't know, and I think for a lot of people with knitting in the round, it's how you learn first. I think maybe even especially with socks, it's how you learn first. So if you learned on double points first, then
they're
tend
not
to
so
be,
scary.
Yeah, you tend to be, that tends to be your favorite way of doing things.
I learned on 2 circulars, I think, first. I think I made a hat that way. And I liked it a lot when I was just beginning because it seemed to make more sense to me. And then I did learn magic loop, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. And then for socks, I kind of got the DPNs under control, and I do really like those. But I was just doing I was trying to do a Christmas sock, the one I took out today, that speckly, sparkly one, because it was too big, and then my cables weren't showing up on the patterned yarn, so I pulled that out today. Decided I didn't like the way it was working, and that was on magic loop, and that was fine. And I learned did I tell you I learned the Judy's Magic Cast On?
Yeah, you did. Isn't that
Yeah,
tricky?
it was
It's
kinda
kind of
cool.
neat the way that works. I love how that it has that garter stitch or pearl, on the other side.
Yeah, it was really neat. So it was a first time for a toe-up sock that I was trying, and so that's what I found it on, I think it was on knitty.com. They had a little photo tutorial.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oops, I know. I'll keep doing
You're making
that.
noise
I'm
over
making,
there.
lots of noise, and I lost where my loop was, so I'm just going to guess.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. There we go. But, I don't know. I kind of like the way people are amazed when I'm working with double point needles. That always looks weird to people, I think.
It does. I know.
You've got all these little sticks
Exactly.
sticking out of your hands, and I'm pretty quick with the double points, so get into the next one. And
well, Aaron, my husband, said he wanted to learn to knit socks, and so I said, well, you can, I was trying to figure out what would be the best method to teach him, and he's all, and I explained the double pointed thing. I'm like, you're only working with 2 at a time. It's the other ones just sit there and wait for you to get to them. And he was like, oh, he's like, I thought you had to do all of them at the same time.
that's what
and
it
so
looks
he was
like.
totally,
Yeah, that's what it looks
so
like.
then he's like, oh no, I want to learn that way. So we haven't done it yet. We're gonna have to.
And that's what I tell people. These other needles are just holding your yarn for your stitches for you.
Well, and even in Magic Loop, the cable is holding your stitches for you while you're working the other side, right?
Right.
And that makes so much sense to me when instead of trying to figure out this loop is coming through and you pull this side and you pull that side, and so it's just holding on to them for you.
Yeah. It's helping.
It's a handy helper.
Yay. Let's see. I don't know where I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So your pattern's rib at the bottom, and then you've got
Seed.
a seed stitch at the top, and mine was single crochet at the bottom, and I'm doing double crochet rows now.
Oh my god, look how big yours is next to mine. It's not even. God, you're going to be done.
I am going to be done.
Do we time this?
I don't know what time we started. What time is it? Is it 6:15?
It's 6:15. Yeah.
So we probably started at
We closed the shop.
5:30,
Right.
quarter till.
About that, probably.
So my half hour's almost up. Well, we can look at the time on the
thing,
camera to see how long it's
Right.
been.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Then repeat. 6, 7, one more row of that. I might run out of yarn though.
You might. I know. I'm thinking I'm gonna.
I'm wondering. I didn't even look to see how much I needed.
I might like split mine up and.
It just says 1 skein.
Yeah, it does. It is just 1 skein.
Hmm.
So, do you think it got bigger, or
I don't know. No, I just might be
still
doing
engaged? I don't even know if mine has a gauge.
loose. I don't know. I think I might stop after this double, and then I'll go back to the singles because I feel like I'm gonna run out.
Oh my god! All right, if you're gonna,
I might have made mine wider than, like, a bigger circumference than she did. I can't tell if hers is. So this seems to be symmetrical in the single crochet rows on the top and the bottom.
Oh, so
seems to be the same number.
Okay.
But I don't know that mine's going to be like that.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
So are you starting your border now?
No, I'm doing one more row
Of this.
of the double, which is
okay.
in the middle.
Okay.
And then I'll do, yours is asymmetrical. Yours is rib and then seed stitch, and there's no, you don't finish in rib.
No, there's nothing.
Okay. So in a situation like this, where I'm like, oh, I might run out of yarn, am I going to go back and readjust and change my single crochet rows so that I have the same number on the top and the bottom?
Okay, so, this is the cowl I'm working in the round, and this is the beginning of my round right here.
Yeah.
And the end is just a seed stitch, so honestly, it doesn't really matter since I want to use all of this, at any one point, when I get to a point where I have just enough to cast off, that's where I'm going to stop.
So you're not going to be worried about the beginning of your round?
Not really. I don't really care.
When you start casting off?
Nope.
Okay.
Because
it's not going to matter.
It really doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's negligible, right?
Right.
Yeah. So.
And only people who actually know how to knit or crochet are going to ever look at it close enough to see what you've done.
Right.
And they're just going to be interested in how you did it. So it's not like anybody's going to look at it and go, you did it wrong.
And you didn't finish where you started.
Remember that girl that came in with the gray shrug, the granny shrug?
Oh,
that
yeah.
was like the baby surprise. So we're
We're cawing at her.
In the upcoming episode, we're talking about the construction of the baby surprise jacket and this crochet version. Well, today a girl came into the shop wearing
the crochet version.
The crochet version, and both of us are like, "Hey, how'd you do this? Oh my gosh, look what she did here!" And I'm like, "Can I take a picture?" Poor thing.
She loved it. She was so proud
I know.
of it.
She was totally telling us exactly what she did.
She didn't even block it because she wanted.
She wanted to wear it so bad. I know. It was awesome.
Of course, she wants to wear it someplace where it'll be appreciated. So
Yes.
she came into a yarn store.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And of course, we, on cue,
Yep.
fawned all over her.
It was funny.
It's so cute, and
It is so cute.
I love the gauge that she used.
Yeah.
And her little trick of it's granny square, so it's crocheted, and instead of just sewing the two edges, because what happens is you make half of it and you make the other half, and then you sew the back. So instead of just sewing the edges together, she did this thing where you did 3 double crochets on one side and then twisted and 3 double
then 3
crochet
on
on
the
the other
other.
side.
Right.
And then so that kind of mimics the
whole pattern.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Oh my
I've
God.
joined blanket squares like that before. And when I joined my other one, I completed one side, and then I took the other piece and I did 3 double crochets, and then I slip stitched into the space, 3 double crochets and slip stitched into the space. So
okay.
I'm not sure. I think that you get a little extra bit for the slip stitch, but you don't get the twist of doing the both. It was cool, though.
It was so cool.
It was really neat.
I'd never seen anything like that, so I was so impressed. And of course, she goes on to, point out that, I didn't like the sleeve increases, so it looks really yucky under here. I mean, we do this all the time.
I know. Let me
I made
point
a
out all the
mistake
flaws.
here.
But then she told us all the ways she modified it, so that was cool. So we
Yeah.
learned something about it there.
Yeah,
It's really...
it was a very, very cute sweater. I
Yeah.
definitely want to make one, so I gotta find yarn and time and finish all my stuff. Whip challenge, finish. It's funny.
So holidays are coming up, so I'm thinking in the comments below if you guys could let us know what your favorite gift patterns are.
Oh,
things you like to
yeah.
make for people.
Like things that that you've made over and over again because they've worked out so well.
I like to make, so I did make a cowl, a one skein. It was a DK way, so it was a couple 100 yards, for a friend of mine. Ooh, this is gonna be awesome.
Are you almost
done? And it was there's,
Now are you doing the edge?
I'm doing the edge now. It's not gonna match the bottom, but that's okay.
You don't think you have enough to do?
I don't think I can
4?
do a few more. No, I think I can probably only do like 2 rows. So how do we estimate? Well, trial and error. I'm gonna see if it works, and if I can't get it, then I am gonna finish probably on a row, a complete row, because you'll be able to tell, because I've been, because I might just have one.
Oh, okay. So if you had more than...
If it was just a full thing of single crochet, it wouldn't matter, and I would just slip stitch it wherever I stopped. But since I've got 2 different stitches here, I think I might have to.
I'm not even halfway, because it's 14 rows of this and 16 rows of the other one, and I'm not even like 10 rows in. Maybe I'm 10. I don't know where I am. 1, 2, 3,
Pretty good.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm on the 10th row.
Okay.
And I might, no, I'm gonna go somewhere.
Does yours give you a final measurement for how wide it is, or how tall it is?
This thing is only 1 page. And so it's all the stuff is squished in, like, the materials and it's in a paragraph instead of a list, right? So 1 skein, a 10 millimeter, 16-inch circular needle, a large stitch marker, and a darning needle.
Okay.
So
I don't think mine has a finished size.
there's no 48 stitches, 2 by 2, 16, and then bind off loosely.
Huh.
I don't know.
Mine has a variation for more compact. Just do the half double crochet back loop. Oh, I love that.
Did you finish?
No.
What? I think, what?
Oh, the half double crochet back loop only, because then you get that row of V's going this way. It looks like it's knit.
Is that
it's
your
a beautiful texture? That's my favorite
Is that
thing to do
the
ever.
end or?
That's her variation on this pattern. So she's got a second variation.
Ooh, are you gonna do it?
Maybe. I don't know. This is by Amy Stein. Rock on, Amy Stein. Good job. This is a great thing for gifts. It's so impressive too, with all the colors and the big yarn.
Yeah, this one's you knit in Canada. You knit.
You like
like like a female sheep you. So thanks for love having quick patterns out there, and free's always good, but I pay for patterns too.
Of course.
So
I totally do. Yeah, this is great. I wonder if I can make it one more time.
oh my god.
I'm almost done.
She's almost done. And where am I? And I lost my loop again, but it doesn't matter. And you'll be hearing all this banging on the table. Sorry about that. These needles are heavy.
Guess what I found?
What?
The double-sided golden hooks that I love so much. I found them on sale again
Where? On
eBay.
eBay.
Again.
Oh.
Bottom.
This is how far I got, and you just.
I think I'm gonna have to be done.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Time!
Time already?
I win!
definitely win.
Yeah,
I didn't even get
this
the first
is all I
half
have
done.
left. So I have maybe 2 yards
Yeah.
left. I'm not going to be able to get around again in 2 yards, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe. Hold on. Let me try. Let me see how far I get, because I wouldn't mind another row.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be big enough.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
Let's see. Might not be done. Psych.
Psych. But she's, you know, I concede because I still have way more than half the skein left. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 14. I was gonna do 12 maybe, but I'll do 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. I still have 2 more rounds of my first pattern.
All right, so it looks like I would have needed 4 yards to get that final last row.
Is this your loop? Here,
That's
can
it
you
right
just
there.
do that? Okay, put it on. She's done! Gift
What do we think?
done.
Gift done.
Woohoo! It goes with what you're wearing.
I know.
It's very cute.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
And it's a good size too.
So you could have made both versions. Why? And you know, two
In the time
skeins.
that
In
you
the
did
time. And well, no, in the time that I would finish one,
Yes.
you definitely could make both versions
Yeah.
twice as fast, at least.
Well, and just because it's okay, so A, crocheting is faster than knitting, but B, I am fast crocheter.
I'm a fast knitter.
I know you're a fast knitter. I'm just faster than you. All right, so look for our whip challenge on our group,
Yes.
and we're just going to throw this up as fast as we can,
Yep.
and then our regular episode will be up in the next week or 2.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay, so
All right,
fun.
thanks
All
for
right.
joining us for
Thank
this
you, everybody.
All right. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.